Welcome everybody to the Power F1 Pro Series Season 4 Draft. I'm Canadian Oak, and I'm going to be explaining everything you need to know. Welcome everybody to the Power F1 Pro Series Season 4 Draft. I'm Canadian Oak, and I'm going to be explaining everything you need to know for the show. First off, we have the driver pool. The driver pool is going to be consisting of 20 drivers, which each team principal will be choosing 2 of out of the total 20. They will then be going into negotiations. For example, the Ferrari team principal will approach one of the drivers out of the 20. They will then go into negotiations. Negotiations will consist of the driver's position, the driver's objectives, and the team objectives as a whole. The driver position is if they are a number 1 or number 2 driver. A driver objective, for example, might be where the driver needs to finish in a certain amount of races. And a team objective, for example, will be the final constructor's position at the end of the season. I hope you all enjoy, and let's get into the draft.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rickety, and alongside me is my bitter rival.
Jonah F1.
My bitter rival from last season. I always hated to see that red rear wing of the Ferrari, but well, here we are alongside each other. It's sort of a Lewis and Max thing. We need to have a glass panel separating us, but yeah, we're here for the draft. This is the first season that we're doing the draft, and Canadian has already explained how it works, so we're basically here to commentate over it. And AlphaTauri talks with Lewis Piper.
That's interesting. I mean, I think it's not a bad idea for AlphaTauri to get into the mix really early. We have a lot of good drivers on the board here, and AlphaTauri being the first team to start making some moves, I think that's nothing but beneficial for that squad.
Yeah, AlphaTauri hasn't been a team in previous season that has been challenging for titles or constructors, etc. So going from right from the get-go to get the good drivers, maybe that's the way to go. Meanwhile, McLaren approaching Jacob and Jan, Red Bull in talks with Carlos and Jacob, so Jacob seems to be a hot property for the teams right now.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really blame them. Jacob is one of the fastest drivers we've seen in Power F1 over the last few seasons. So McLaren and Red Bull, in my opinion, the driver combo there that I see that looks a little bit better is Carlos and Jacob. That's a pretty quick couple of guys. So I mean, it looks like Red Bull's trying to go right at the big boys, but we don't really know when maybe a guy like Bradley, previous world champion, is going to come off the board. Super interested to see when some of those really, really, really fast guys start to go.
Who doesn't want Bradley? I mean, he's
that's
a
what
good
I'm
guy.
saying, right?
Yeah, but so there's a lot of speculation about Bradley joining Red Bull, and he was a driver for Red Bull last season. Of course, he won it all, constructors and drivers, and they got a nice prize money out of that. And we have increased the pot this season as well to $100. So, question is, Are you gonna break out of your old habit? Are you gonna try to move on to a different team? That's the real question with Bradley. And if I
Yeah.
were me, if that were me, I don't know if I would have moved, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about what Bradley's comfortable with, right? I mean, we're fully aware that he's got his pace, but it's also a matter of maybe he's holding out for a better teammate to look for the constructors title as well, because obviously if you win both titles, there's a little bit more in the pot there. But we have no idea. If I were Bradley, I probably wouldn't go anywhere, but that's just what I would do.
Yeah. And who would say no to Red Bull? It's a championship winning car in real life.
Exactly. And the Honda motor sounds great.
In my opinion, Merc is the best, Honda second, Ferrari is dead last.
Completely agreed.
Yeah, Ferrari just sounds horrible. I don't know how Codemasters managed to ruin the engine every year. But yeah, that's how it is. And right now, the teams are currently in talks with the drivers, and there is no drivers confirmed as of yet. And well, actually, the Williams has started approaching, and they approach Bradley
There we
and
go.
Riffler.
Interesting. So Bradley in chats with Williams. Now the Williams team principal, One Shark. I know he's a go-getter. My teammate last year and a good friend of mine. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see Bradley in a Williams car this year, especially considering the persuasion tactics maybe of One Shark he's holding up there.
Yeah, that's how we became main sponsor. I'm joking. No. Yeah, One Shark is the team principal for Williams, and it will be real interesting if he managed to get Bradley, because Bradley is a championship winning driver himself, so he needs the reassurance that he gets the team surrounding him to help him win another championship. Or maybe he played a supportive role, but for me, that doesn't seem like a Bradley thing to do, to play the supportive role.
Yeah, I can't see Bradley coming into a team as a secondary driver. I
Yeah.
just can't see that.
Well,
Well,
Williams, let's see what they have. They're in talks with Jacob now as well. So they have approached 3 drivers about a potential seat at the same time. So One Shark is holding a shotgun and hoping that some of the bullets will land on on the drivers. And we'll have to see if who was it now?
If Bradley, Riffler, or if Jacob, but yeah, I mean, like I said, it just shows that, to my point, that One Shark's really a go-getter.
Yeah.
And now we have Mercedes AMG in talks with Persigelli, a gentleman we've both raced against before, and he's very quick.
The Flying Finn.
The Flying Finn. So I'd love to see maybe Persigelli get a seat in that side podless Mercedes. He deserves a top team.
It wouldn't surprise me that they already are in the finalizing talks about the contract, because Persigelli was under the command of George last season in Pro Series. And George is again the team principal for Mercedes, so it wouldn't surprise me if Persigelli has already signed the dotted line about joining Mercedes. And that also means, if Ergodog is not deciding to quit or anything, I think Ergodog is joining Mercedes again.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, it was a working formula, and the only thing that had a bad reaction to said formula was Bradley.
Right.
So, if they already have a good team chemistry within the team, why would you change something that's already been working? If everyone already know their place, first team driver and whatnot. Ergodog, there we go.
Look at that. Okay, so you know what? That's not a bad assumption there. It looks like George is going out to do exactly what you said he is, which is great. I mean, if we, I'm a fan of returning teams, if you kind of know what I mean, like with guys who come back for another season in the same car and the same teammate, because they have a season to build chemistry, and then they can come back and do it again, and maybe go for the ultimate prize if they didn't get it last year. So I really like that they're going for the same kind of group, the same kind of chemistry. It's going to show maybe that they have a bit more of a chance at fighting maybe Bradley or Jacob, who's also really quick. Hopefully they don't end up in the same team, because that's just lethal. But I really like the idea that George is going for here.
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, Red Bull has not approached Bradley about a renewal of the contract yet, which to me is quite surprising, knowing that he won it all for them last season. So not seeing Red Bull there in talks with Bradley, it actually surprises me.
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe it's a Helmut Marko thing.
Yeah, Williams is the only team, as far as I can remember, is the only team that is currently talking with Bradley. Nothing confirmed as of yet, and we're just waiting for confirmation from the drivers in case might be a big upset in the driver market. And just to point that out as well, not every team principal was online for this event, and those who weren't online will get their drivers randomized. That we'll see the full grid later on in the stream, but so far nothing confirmed. But I'm fully confident that Ergodog and Persigelli is going to be the Mercedes lineup next season. It's
So
something
you know what?
that
I
works.
think that's I think if it works, it works, right? We have a saying over on this side of the world that's if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
So what that means is if it's not broken, there's no need to fix something that's still working. You know what I mean? So go out, get the two drivers that work for you, that are comfortable in the same car together. If you have no issues as a team, right? They're not fighting each other. They're not focused on beating each other, but they're focused on the end goal as a team. That's, in my opinion, more important than one really fast driver and one who's going to try and get in the way.
Yeah, I mean, chemistry is key in a Formula One team at times, and we saw that with Bottas and Lewis Hamilton, for example, because Bottas, whilst he was not that happy playing the supportive role, he really did help Lewis to win the championship that he needed to, the previous 7 championship, and the 8th still looming Lewis Hamilton. So I don't think anyone in the... Oh, we got a confirmation right here on the screen, and it's Mercedes confirming that Persigelli is the driver for next season.
Williams confirms
confirming.
Bradley.
Wow. AlphaTauri confirms Phoenix as well. I haven't seen Phoenix drive as far as I can remember, but obviously he's quite quick if AlphaTauri wants him. But Bradley to Williams.
That's 2 major signings there.
Yeah, something I did not expect, to be honest. I expected him to be in Red Bull, and AlphaTauri confirmed Lewis Piper. So 2 drivers. That's the full driver lineup. Lewis Piper and what's his name? I forgot.
Phoenix.
And Phoenix. There it is.
And Mercedes confirms Ergodog. So your suspicions are correct. Mercedes going with the same driver lineup they had last year. In my opinion, George, that's a good move, man. That's a really, really good move. And like I said, Shark's a go-getter. He went and he got Bradley. That's a great shot at their end goal.
McLaren confirming Jan. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce the last name, but McLaren having the first driver, and that's interesting. I don't think I've seen him before in the league. Red Bull, meanwhile, Carlos. Wow, Carlos to Red Bull.
Driver. That's a quick driver. Red Bull just snatched up there.
Yeah, Carlos has been in champion contention for the season he has driven for us, and he's back now again this season. And yeah, I mean, Red Bull trying out something new, getting Carlos signed the dotted line, and yeah, I mean, it's looking forward for a good, exciting season next season.
Oh,
in Pro
absolutely.
Series.
I mean, especially what I'm most excited about. Is this a little bit of bias? Maybe. I'm really excited about Mercedes this year. They have a really good lineup, a team principal who knows what he's doing, and 2 really, really quick drivers who are good as teammates. I'm really, really excited to see what those guys can do. Maybe put it to the fight to Bradley, who we know is quick. Carlos, we know is really fast. When Jacob decides to sign for a team, we know he's really quick as well.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what Mercedes can do against some of the top guys there.
Aren't you the reserve driver for Mercedes?
That's why I said I'm a little bit biased. I may or may not be their reserve driver, but I'm really excited to see what they can do. Actually, I'm also really excited to see what Williams can do, who they're going to pair with Bradley to see if they can go for the end, they can go for the big prize this year.
Yeah, I mean, it is $100. It's not small amount of money. It's not that huge amount of money as well, but it's something that, you can get your missus out for a nice dinner or something. But
Listen, in my opinion, any money you win from playing a video game is good money.
it is good one. That means that it basically pays off buying the game,
Exactly, and it'll pay for next year's game.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, of course, you need to share that with the team. But no, actually, the team, I think, don't quote me on that. I'm not quite sure, but Sander wanted to add up to the prize money a bit with $20. So that will be the constructor title, but the driver championship get $100. So
Interesting. Okay.
we'll have to see about that, and I'm sure we'll announce it later on in the season how it's gonna look like. But we know for a fact that driver championship will get $100, and that actually might spice things up in teams that we have not seen before, because obviously in previous season we had small prize money or no prize money at all, so people were playing for fun. Now it's getting a bit more serious with the $100, and I do bet that some teams will lose some chemistry.
Well, yeah. Now there's money on the line, and these drivers are
Yeah.
actually driving for something. Speaking of drivers,
Red
Red Bull
Bull.
finishes their lineup, and we
Jacob.
confirmed Jacob. That is a huge signing. Look at Jacob and Carlos in one team. That is ridiculous. Team to
Something
look
you
out for.
predicted right as well.
Yeah, that's a team to look out for, my man. That is insane. Those Red Bulls are going to be quick all year long.
It's gonna be Red Bull versus Mercedes versus Williams. We're gonna have a freeway fight at the top, and we don't even know the rest of the teams as well. So far, we have 3 teams confirming the driver lineup, and we'll see if more teams will do that later
Well,
on.
has Williams confirmed their second driver yet?
I don't think they have. McLaren in talks with Fermo. I've not heard of this guy before, but from the time trials, he seems pretty quick. And if McLaren manage to grab down good drivers that will stay consistent throughout the whole season, and you never know, the top constructors might fight for it a bit too hard, crash each other out, and the dark horse of the constructors will be McLaren. Who knows? And grab that $100 at the finishing race of Abu Dhabi.
It's an interesting point you bring up there as the challenger McLaren driver. We have another, and there we go. McLaren actually confirmed with Thermo. Talks didn't take too long. Looks like Thermo wants into the Woking outfit, and I mean, who can blame him? It's the best team on the grid, in my opinion, in real life.
I agree. In this
But
league
who
as
can
well.
blame him?
Wink,
well,
wink.
all right. I don't know about that. Let's not go too far. But no, I think that's a great signing for McLaren. Get some new faces inside that team. Like you said, their most time trials look real promising, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's competing for points on a regular basis, maybe even more than that. Only time will tell until we get into the first couple rounds of the season to really see where the order starts to shake itself up. Shark making moves, talking to 2 different drivers to finish out his team. I haven't heard of either of these guys, actually.
Oh, who knows? Maybe it's Frederick Rasmussen who's talking about.
Wow, that's just not even fair. Bradley and Frederick Rasmussen, and maybe that's Luke Smith also from esports.
Yeah. Imagine. That would make the biggest upset for Bradley. Not Bradley, for the other teams, I think. And
Oh god, that's an understatement.
yeah, there will be a regulation change maybe to handicap Williams. Williams only allowed to drive the cars from F2 cars in the whole season.
They're actually only allowed to start out of the pit lane all year long.
Yeah, exactly. They have a mandatory free stopper in each race, even sprint races.
And if you put Frederick Rasmussen and Luke Smith in that car, they'd probably still win.
Dude, I agree. Rasmussen had a bit of a thing in Mexico, if I remember right. Williams confirming Frederick. Okay. So they
Interesting.
decide to go for Mr. Rasmussen. Okay, I'm not going to call you that. But Frederick instead of Luke, and there was some miscommunication in the chat as well, because Sharks, being the go-getter, as he said that he is, he tried to grab Benja as well. And
Oh, interesting.
yeah, and actually succeeded grabbing Benjo, but revoked the contract with Benjo because you're not allowed to have 3 drivers in a team. But I think that's it for now, and I think we're randomizing the grid, and Frederick being the last confirmed driver. And of course, it was a bit of a short planning from the staff team, so all the team principal wasn't available at the time. But that's the lineup right now, and I'm really looking forward to the fights on top. And
Oh man, it's gonna be an absolute hell of a season, if I say so myself. I mean, we have some of the fastest drivers I've ever raced against or I've ever seen in this lobby.
thank
And
you.
in this, well, okay, well, you know what? You and I've had some good battles, and we're gonna continue that in Challenger. And anyone watching, you have 3 tiers worth of action for the next 13 weeks as we get ready for Power F1. It's going to be so exciting. I'm so excited. I know Rickety's so excited. And this driver lineup is just insane. I mean, we have Bradley, we have Ergodog, Persigelli, Phoenix, all of these guys who are super quick and some of the smartest team principals around. I can't imagine a better start to the Pro Series.
Neither. Right, so we're going for a bit of a transmission, and I will be back later on with George talking about the other driver lineups in the different tiers. So we'll be announcing Challenger 1 and Academy Series, of course, and Jonah will have a, I don't know, watch a hockey game or something. Something
The
Canadian.
Leafs played yesterday. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Well, that was the Pro Series, and we'll be confirming the grid in a bit. And yeah, Jonah, thank you for joining me today. And
Of course.
hopefully we get a good fight between you and I. And
I'm sure we will.
can't wait to see the Pro Series next season. I cannot
I'm
wait.
so excited. I mean, it looks like it's going to be one hell of a season across the board. Challenger, Pro Series, and even Academy are all stacked grids this year, so it really looks like it's going to be fun.
Right, yeah, I fully agree. And well, we start on Tuesday, and that is Academy. Wednesdays is Challenger, and me and Jonah is there. And then Pro Series on Thursday, as always. And yeah, quick drivers on the grid. We'll see if there will be a giant upset to Bradley's reign of terror in Pro Series. We just have to wait and see. And it all gets started next... well, not even next week, this week.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. And that's it from me and Jonah for now, and we'll see you after the break. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Here I am with Mr. George, and a lot of you guys know him from co-commentating with me
Yeah,
in
of course.
Challenger Series last season. Pretty sure.
Yeah, of course. The best commentating duo in the world, I think.
I mean, it's all
I
right,
mean,
but
oh no, there is no doubt about that. Don't even start.
all right. Well, hello everyone. So of course we've been through the draft, so we have seen a couple of drivers getting their confirmed seat, and we have I think 5 or 4 teams stacked, and the rest of the grid will be randomized, as we said before. But before we enter the final stages of the stream, when we announce the tiers, we're gonna briefly explain the point system,
Yeah.
which we haven't done yet. And the racing starts tomorrow with Academy Series. Whether that's getting streamed or not at the moment is a bit unclear, but Challenger and Pro Series is
Will
100%
be.
getting streamed.
Yeah. So
Uh,
make sure not to miss that.
exactly, and it will be streamed on our Twitch, so you can find our socials in the Discord as well. And if you want to join the league, the Discord is in the YouTube banner in our in our YouTube. So without further ado, Mr. George, you were a Mercedes. You are a Mercedes team principal.
Yeah,
You bagged
indeed I am.
yourself Persigilli and an Ergodog. Explain the process to the viewers how a
I
team
mean,
principal
on
works.
I mean, team principal. I mean, it's not as easy as some people may think it is. It's not like you just hop in a VC like 10 minutes before the race and just call out strategies and all that. It's about like being with the drivers, helping them. I try and help them as much as I can with maybe car setups, uh, and everything I can. Like if I can provide them with any car setups that maybe they find useful, that's cool. I make sure they practice, and that didn't happen last season, so it will happen this season. So they will practice.
They
I will
need to
make sure they
practice.
will. Yeah, they need to practice because the grid this season will not be near as it was like. It will be very competitive, and I'm very excited to start this week.
Yeah.
So yeah, team principal is not about being in the VC every week. It's more about that. It's like helping your drivers, and yeah,
Not only is it a new season, new me, it's a new year, new me as well. And of course,
exactly.
we're starting
2023.
off. Yeah, we're starting off with the same game, but with a whole different grid, and we have 3 grids for you to showcase today. And before we get into that, let's talk about the point system. And the
Oh,
point system
it's
have changed quite a lot
yeah,
since last season.
much
So
better in my opinion.
we're not doing the regular 25, 24 points for the first place. So this is made. This point system is basically used by other competitive leagues out there, and this is basically to bring the grid together and we get more competitive racing. So let's say that you are a pro driver, for example, and you miss 1 or 2 races. It's not everything, because you can claw everything back in, I don't know, matter of 1 or 2 races.
Yeah,
So this is how it looks like. Normal races. So we've cut down the points. So first place is gonna be 16 points. Second is gonna be 12. Third is gonna be 10 points. Fourth gonna be 8 points. Fifth gonna be 6 points. Seven is gonna be 4 points. Eighth is gonna be 3 points. 9 is gonna be 2 points, and 10 is gonna be 1 point. And the fastest lap will be awarded at 1 point, and that is not happening during the sprints. So the first place gets 6 points in the sprint. Second place got 5 points. Third place got 4 points. Fourth place got 3 points. Fifth get 2 points, and seventh get 1 point. So it's top
you
seven
mean
that gets the point.
six? Yeah, you mean top
Yeah,
six.
top six. Yeah, that's my bad. But that is how it looks like. And from first glance, George, how does it look for you?
I mean, like looking at those points, it seems like it's gonna be more about like being consistent because the point difference is gonna be that different. It's not gonna be like guy that keeps winning will like almost have a 50 point or even more gap to second place mid-season. So it's gonna be like it's gonna be less points at the end of the season, but the grid will be closer. The gaps will be lower. It's not gonna be as big as they used to be. So that's the reason we decided to do that also. Uh, Sprint races will be very interesting too because good amount of points there. So you will, other than just want to like start on a better position, if you have a bad qualifying, you have the point system that actually awards pretty decent points. So if you manage to win sprint and the race, that's not bad. That's a good amount of points. And if your rival that doesn't get any points on sprint or in the race, that's how you can close the gap. So it's all about sprint and the races. So you just need to be consistent, in my opinion. Uh, and yeah, I think it's gonna be a very excited. It's gonna be very very good and a very nice change.
Yeah, I mean, this is to improve the racing. We're gonna have
Exactly.
a lot more racing next season. Of course, we did open up our Assetto Corsa branch as well. So if you have Assetto Corsa and you would like to try out some IndyCar, just say hi to the people over there. They are a partner with us, and we're excited to work with them. Yeah, so just simply through our Discord as well. But enough with the points, enough with the talks. We've seen a bit of the pro lineup, but
Yeah.
we'll move on to the AC lineup right now, and this is AC, aka Academy. So it's a grid filled with people don't know. If I'm gonna be brutally honest,
I know a couple.
I know a
Uh,
couple. I know a couple, and it's showing the wrong picture. So let me just change that quickly. Uh, it's showing the wrong picture. Benjo is not supposed to be there, but we'll change that quickly. Let me get it. There we go. Castro and Hanos is racing for Aston Martin, but we got Red Bull, Moses, Mummy, Ferrari, GTK, Solly, Roy. I mean, it looks like a solid grid for AC, and of course, AC is a place where you develop yourself as a driver. You
yeah,
learn your racing crafts, and basically, AC can attend the Challenger Series
yeah,
as a reserve.
yeah, and we've seen in the past, like a couple of seasons ago, well, we had AC. We had a lot of drivers that were in AC1, jumped up to Challenger, and they were quite good. One of them being Gamma B, if I'm not wrong. So he did a great job. If I remember correctly, he was on an academy at some point, and he jumped up on on CH1 last season. He did a good job on a couple of races. Then, I mean, yes, but it's your opportunity. You can jump up to CH1
Yeah,
next season, and you can even challenge to win uh the season. Yeah. So academy is a very exciting tier, and yeah,
yeah. So basically, Challenger One and Academy don't get any prize money, of course.
yeah.
So it is more for fun, or more like a hobby slash Kimi Räikkönen. But uh, so it won't be strict for academy drivers to move up to challenger. It can happen mid-season and all. We just want to have great racing, and this is the academy lineup that will bring us the racing in academy. Also, we did rename everything, so it's not Pro Series and then Challenger 1, Challenger 2. We have 3 tiers, so we are naming them to Pro Series, and then we have Challenger Series, and then we have Academy. Therefore, it's easier to track as well. But talking about Challenger,
Yeah,
we do have a Challenger lineup, and it looks like a stacked one.
indeed we do. Yeah, it's gonna be a very nice one.
And there it is. We have the Challenger lineup, and we're starting with a Red Bull having a great team. So has Ferrari, raced with Verkins for a long time. Danza and Joner is in Mercedes, back together again. And I am with a new teammate in McLaren. I'm back in
You know
McLaren.
him?
I'm back home. I do not know
Oh
him.
yeah,
Yeah.
like your team, you won everything. You won not everything. You won the constructors, if I'm not wrong, with Benzo.
Yeah,
not,
I
you remember?
did win
Yeah.
constructor with Benjo, and I won the
So
driver championship
champion,
the previous
yeah.
season.
Oh yes, indeed you did. So you've pretty much won everything. So you just want to do the double this season, don't you?
No, I just want to relax, to be honest. Like last
Ah, no,
season.
there is no relaxation in this grid. You see, like Yamabe, Sag, Magnatek, and Verkens, quite, I mean, amazing drivers. You remember Danza and Joner, like deadly duo in the past. Haven't driven in this game that much, but you remember them.
I remember
Uh,
them.
Alpine with the two Greek guys. I will be supporting those guys, Bracing and Catastrophe, as
I
we
won't.
know. But yeah, why? I mean, the two Greek guys, of course, I will support them. Yeah, Mastels and Lars, a pretty good team. Both
They've been
excellent
teaming up
drivers.
with each other
Yeah,
before.
yeah, exactly. And then we have some new guys, Lepson, if I'm not wrong, if I pronounce his name correctly,
Yeah.
and Staffable. New guys. So a lot of new guys, a lot
I've
of
seen
new
Lepson and
faces.
Estafable
Yeah.
before.
Uh, oh really? Okay.
Yeah,
Luka Jovic and Thiago Mioto on Aston
those are new
Martin.
for me.
Yeah. Rocco, actually talking about AC1, he was on AC1 and he jumped up and he did a great job, Rocco, on Challenger Series.
Yeah.
With Krams. Krams, pretty decent driver. He's a very good driver. So it's a very well balanced grid. I think there's gonna be a lot of fighting between drivers and uh
A few new drivers.
Gazanti and Karam.
I
What?
haven't. I haven't seen Tiago race before in Power F1, but I am an owner, of course, and I've been having a little peek in the time trials. Looks very promising.
Oh.
A very promising driver, and of course, to remind everyone, if a team principal or a team is missing a driver in Pro Series, the
Yeah,
basically the Challenger Series is a reserve pool for said
exactly.
teams. So, for example, George is Mercedes team principal. He can elect to move Danza and Joner up for a reserve race when either of his original drivers can't make it. Uh,
I
so
mean,
yeah,
don't mind me. I have a pretty good choice of drivers, Danza and Joner, so I'm pretty lucky on us having two great reserves. But still, I see on the chat like Thiago very excited that he's in. He says, "Yo, I'm in." So that's
yeah. Hello there.
so he seems very excited. And also one more question about Jake Brown. He asked, there will be prizes for certain things
Yes.
though. For example, best overtake prizes across all tiers. I don't think it will be across tiers. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I think it will be mainly pro tier.
No, it will be across there. So
Oh, okay.
basically,
So,
at the end of the season, we're gonna host a little award show like Formula One has, and basically we'll showcase a bit of everything, really. Maybe the most controversial moment in the season, the best overtake in the season, and most consistent prices, etc., etc. Something along the lines like that. We haven't really nailed down on exactly what the prices are gonna be, but that's something that we are actively looking into, and we have 13 weeks to decide on what price it's gonna be. And from what I've heard, it might be Discord Nitro, the small stuff, but it's
I mean,
something.
it's something. It's not like
Yeah.
it's a nitro. It's
It
better than nothing. So this,
it might be. Don't
like,
quote me on that.
yeah,
We
yeah,
are
exactly.
rechecking our budget. We're checking,
Yeah,
and basically that's how it's gonna look like. But it is something. So the Challenger and Academy series won't be left for dead, of course. So they will have something to fight about. The
yeah.
bragging
I mean,
rights mostly, but yeah.
they already have something to fight about. A very competitive championship. So
Yeah, exactly. And if you guys don't know, Mr. Jake Brown is the owner in Power F1 as well, so that's him correcting us right there.
yes,
Anyways, if we thought that Challenger 1 was stacked up, we haven't moved on to Pro Series yet. And Pro
yeah.
Series, I can tell you what, this season might be the closest season in the entirety of
Ooh.
Pro Series that we've had. We had, of course, CRL and Pro Series, and everyone has just improved from those days, and everyone has gone a lot faster, a lot better with their racing craft, and this is the Pro Series. So we got Carlos and Jacob in Red Bull, and Fano and Musty in Ferrari. Percy Gelly, Ergodog in Mercedes.
Yeah, big ups.
The bad drivers, two of them.
Ah,
Fermo and Jan is in McLaren. Riffler is in Alpine with Fat Neek, KSI. Uh, Linus and Nick is in Haas. Victor, and I'm not gonna read that name. Cameron and Benjo is in Aston Martin. Lewis and Phoenix in AlphaTauri, and Bradley and Frederick Rasmussen question mark in Williams. This this is gonna bring us a lot of exciting racing, and this is the people that are gonna battle out for the $100 prize money at the end of the season. And yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, I mean, watching Bradley at Williams is so weird. We've been used to him being at Red Bull for how long? I think like 4 seasons in a row he's
For a
been at Red
season.
Bull.
And Red
Yeah,
Bull
and
did not approach him at all.
I mean it was some like undercover negotiation, if I'm not wrong. I mean, I'm from the paddock, from what I know, from the team principals and the whole thing. I've heard that like Red Bull tried Bradley approached Red Bull, if I'm not wrong. Correct me if I'm here, but that's what I've heard on the paddock. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure, so I'm not gonna say anything else because I might be wrong.
We'll simply have to see. And if you're interested in joining the league, you can of course go to the Discord, submit your time trial. There will be people leaving, there will be people joining, and we will constantly update those driver lineups and standings. But other than that, I mean, it's looking like a very exciting season for Power F1
Exactly,
as a
indeed.
whole. We did a big merger with BRC as well, and we have a lot to thank the BRC staff launching the Aceto tier as well, and helping us grow a bit. Katja Sophia has been a vital part of growing this league, expanding this league. You have been a vital part as well. And I think we got a pretty good team behind Power F1 right now to continue the Power F1 legacy forward. We have grown quite big in the last couple of years.
Yeah, we bounced back from last season. That's
We
what I
really
wanna.
did bounce back, and it was we blame the game a bit,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah,
of course.
that's the lineup. And the lineup will be posted in the Discord as well, so you can join there, and you can also check the calendar with the reverted Mexican flag that I still need to fix. But yeah, George, I mean, you're a team principal. I
Yes.
bet you do see a bunch of threats in this lineup.
Of course I do. Like number one threat being on Williams. I know Bradley, I know Carlos and Jacob. I know a couple of guys from last season. I know Benzo. Everyone uh, seems quite fast. From seeing TT times, got a glimpse of that. I know that times are very close. Uh, but I hope Bradley is not the same guy that was last season. Yep, and probably I mean number one threat as a team. I think it's gonna be Red Bull for us. I don't know. I don't want to throw shade on Williams, but I don't know Frederick. So they might be the best team. I don't know because of Bradley and Frederick. We might be or Ferrari. I don't know. So this is what it makes it so exciting for this season because you don't know who's gonna be the top team. We have so many good drivers in the grid, so we don't know what team is gonna be the best.
Exactly, and I mean, we're gonna be on it this year. We have a good social media team backing everything up as well. So, we might make an appearance on TikTok. We might make more appearances on Instagram and Twitter, etc. You will definitely see more content here in YouTube. So, make sure if you haven't done it yet, hit the little subscribe button, and you'll see more racing content, of course, and it will be also uploaded in Discord. But other than that, there is not much more to announce. So we have the new point system, gonna make exciting racing, and the lineups making it even more exciting. So I'm expecting more drama, more fireworks. It's gonna be moves like defensive move like Max Verstappen to Lewis Hamilton in
Oh no!
Interlagos.
Oh
Yes, going wide. I'm gonna put you in the lake if I have to.
no!
And yeah, we're gonna see hopefully some good, exciting racing. And thank you for joining us on the journey. And yeah, we'll simply see you later on. And tomorrow, don't quote me, there might be a stream. Not 100% sure yet, but Challenger and Pro Series is getting nailed down for a stream. So don't
Make
miss
sure
out
to tune
on the next 3 days. Other than that, closing words from George. Do you have anything?
Nothing. I'm very excited for the season. That's that.
All right. Well, that's from me and George. Me being an owner and George helping out the team as well, with the staff team as well. And yeah, we're closing this out now. Thank you for joining the stream. Hopefully, enjoyed the new draft system, and we make sure to improve on it next season as well if we're gonna go through forward with it, which seems to be something that people really do like. So yeah, from me and George, thank you for joining, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the grid in a couple of days. Bye bye.